Welcome back to Fir Park and a long overdue update. One thing and another has led to inactivity on the channel for the last year or so, and I was still obviously buying bits and pieces and showing an interest, but I just lacked any sort of motivation to do a new layout project. Having a break away from it in terms of modelling has done me some good, because I've actually got the mojo back again and want to get on and start and do a project again, and also probably do it more, not so much entry level, which I've done all these years, but maybe a little bit more intermediate, maybe challenge myself in terms of what I want to build, in terms of maybe having point motors installed and a control panel and things like that. So I've got a little idea for an O-gauge L-shaped layout running down one side of the lounge and then going across. And as you can see, we've got on the floor some bits of paper with a width of 2 foot, two O-gauge Helgen coaches, a Mark 1 full brake and a CCT. Now what I've gone and done there is I just wanted to see what the distance was in terms of what I can get away with on a 2 foot wide baseboard. So as you can see there, those two coaches are ideally going to be sort of in a hidden off-scene area. So the area to the right of them, where are we here? This would be like some sort of the end of a diesel depot stabling point. And obviously the double track would head on round to an L-shaped terminus on that bit of board. So obviously with O-gauge, the proportions of these models are far bigger than OO and N and HO gauge. So you've got to take that into consideration when operating with this. And obviously with the Accurascale takeover of Helgen's tooling and assets and everything, the price of O-gauge appears to have come down to more sensible prices. And this is the question that was being asked for many years: why is O-gauge stuff so expensive? 3 times the size of OO doesn't mean that the price has to be 3 times the size. So hopefully they regardless of what people think about that acquisition, and I know there was mixed feelings about it, now the dust is settled, you can actually see that what they want to do going forward, especially in terms of O-gauge, is bring the price of O-gauge models down, make it more accessible, which it should be. I mean the O-gauge Mark 1 full brake there, which is a ScotRail liveried one, I got that for £99, and the CCT was £79. I didn't get those from the Helgen website, I got them from somewhere else, but I have been buying a few bits on Helgen's website with the latest discount code as well, and I picked up some nice bits. So I'm not complaining really, because when I did O-gauge before, I just couldn't hack it in terms of the expense. So I got rid of all the lot I had before, and I've been buying back a few bits with a view to getting a foothold in it again, alongside OO and the N-gauge Continental outline. However, with O-gauge, I'm only going to be having a little dabble in it, so that is a word of advice. Don't get rid of your smaller gauge stuff and just go O-gauge outright, because you won't be able to get everything that you had in the smaller gauges, and that's where you can slip up, and then you realise that you can't have full length HSTs going around, and well, you could, but you'd probably be spending thousands of pounds on a kit built one, and it may not be suitable. So you have to keep it in perspective and keep your feet on the ground with this. So that's what I'm doing with this project. It's going to be an L-shaped project layout. So it'll be 14 foot by either 2 foot wide or 3 foot wide going down one side of the living room, then an L-shaped add-on bit which will be 5 foot across by either 2 or 3 foot wide. And I'll show you the inspiration for that track plan now. And in front of us here we can see that we have the track plan for a layout called Inverkenny Junction, which is a O-gauge L-shaped layout on YouTube, and it's a very good YouTube channel, so look that one up, Inverkenny Junction. And it's a Scottish region, mid to late 80s layout, and you can see the L-shaped design is similar to the pattern that I'll be looking at. So on that particular bit of board here, from left to right will be 14 foot by either 2 or 3 foot wide, and then where the terminus station is on the bottom right of that design, you can see that will be 5 foot by either 2 foot wide or 3 foot wide. This bit here is a hidden off scene section, which is where the coaches were on the diagram. Now I'm not going to copy this track plan obviously, because that is, you know, the idea of the owner of Inverkenny Junction. That's their sort of idea, but this has been proved invaluable, this channel, because I like the Scottish region. I also like other regions as well, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. So this track plan has given me plenty of inspiration, and you can see I've been sorting out the measurements. So I shall get the baseboards. I should probably get 4 pieces of 4x2 or 4x3. Maybe crop one at the end or turn it around the other way, and then get a 5x3 or 5x2. But I need to just make sure what I can actually fit in the given space. I do have some baseboards up in the loft which are redundant now. I don't use them because the temperature up there the last couple of summers has just been ridiculous. So I think with climate change and the extreme heat waves, I think the loft is a no-go now. But I do still have the baseboards, which are 4 foot by 2 foot sections, so I shall clear those and actually do a few measurements and bits and pieces and that, just to see what I can fit in the given space before deciding whether to either recycle those baseboards or buy brand new ones and just start again. Even though there's nothing wrong with the ones in the loft, they were built for me and they're perfectly rigid and fine. So another source of inspiration are these books which came out a few years ago. 2 of them are from Ian Futers, who is well known for particularly Scottish minimum space O-gauge layouts, and also there's Paul A. Lunn as well with the building micro layouts. Again, no stranger to minimum space layouts. So even though that's a micro layout book, and you might think a micro layout in O-gauge sounds a bit strange, but in terms of minimum space, it's perfectly feasible to do a layout with realistic operation in O-gauge in a smaller space. For instance, this Inverkenny Junction layout, what I've been fascinated by is the way that the track plan has been designed. So you've got a 3-platform terminus, sort of done in the style of Fort William, I suppose, a compressed version. Obviously, I know there's an island platform there and a service platform, but it's along the same lines in terms of the track layout. And you can get 3 coach trains minimum with a loco and 2 coach and a single car and the shorter platform. And then you've got a depot area. So if you just wanted to have play trains, you can have the off-scene area. Where is it? Here. And effectively, if you use this bit of the layout as the fiddle yard for the terminus, or if you just want to potter about with diesels and that in the depot, you can do so. It maximises operation. And I think that one was 12 foot long by 9, was it, or something? But I'm absolutely fascinated by it, and it's given me food for thought in terms of coming up with my own version, but it'll be more generic so I can run everything that I've got, not just Scottish region stuff. So I thought about doing some sort of harbour terminus with a depot as well, and a fiddle yard here, capable of taking a 2-car DMU, a short parcels rake, or a single car, possibly even a 3-car loco haul train, but we'll see what space we have. And that is what I'm going to start to look at. So I'm going to do a proper job on this. So I won't just be knocking up baseboards, putting track down. I shall be taking my time on it. I want to get it right. I want to get the track laid down properly on cork. Explore the possibility of point motors and a control panel, but I want to try weathering techniques on the track as well. So adding that authentic rust colour, and also adding the black sort of oil stains and things like that. and try my hand at some of the electrics as well. So and go one step better than what I've previously done. So that's just a quick update where we're at. I'm still doing double O gauge, still doing N gauge European outline, and we'll get around to doing some projects with those shortly. But in the meantime, this is what I've got to focus on. As you can see, we've got the Mark 1 full brake and a Red Star Parcel CCT. I do like those. I mean, that was £79, the CCT. Well, double O gauge one is about not far off that. And I've got a blue one over there. So those two and the Mark 1 full brake would be a short parcels train. And I've got a 117 DMU as well, 2-car. So it proves you can do a nice little layout in O gauge in a small space. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on doing. So there won't be another update for a little while because obviously I need to make the space available in the living room, which I'm in the process of doing. And also I need to order up the baseboards and decide which size I need. So the next update that you will see, which will be in probably either a month's time or maybe 2 months' time, in terms of real progress, will be the baseboards hopefully in position. But in the meantime, I should be doing some, lesser updates on new purchases and things like that. But in terms of this particular layout project, it will be probably a month or two before I get the baseboards in place, and then we'll take it from there. So thanks for bearing with me and staying with me, and thanks to any new subscribers I've gained. I'm still here, we're still rocking and rolling and that, so see you in the next update. Okay, thanks.